What's up, everybody? Jay here with Jay's Backyard Cooking, and today we're gonna fire up the pit barrel again. This time we're doing a hung pork picnic shoulder. Let's get into it. Just like that. Again, nothing too fancy. Dry this off as much as possible. Not using a binder today. Don't really care for them. Dry up as much as we can. Set that back in there. You're going in pretty simple again. Salt, pepper. We're gonna add paprika. We're gonna go heavy. It's a big chunk of meat, guys. It's not gonna hurt to go heavy on the outside. Sea salt. I'm just trying to finish this out. I'm tired of seeing it in the pantry. So pat all that down. And the paprika. Give it that nice color. Plus good flavor. I think it gives it some pretty good flavor. We'll flip that around and get the fat cap. Just like that. Nothing too difficult. I'm actually gonna hang this chunk of meat today. And it's gonna be my first time ever doing it. So I wanna find just, I plan to double hook it. So I'm just gonna grab two places there, just somewhere that I think will hold. Just like that. And let's try again. Let's try this side. Let's go. Well, bone getting in my way. Here we go. Do that one there. And then hopefully down. Yep, there we go. Double hook. Let's try this side again. Right there, looks, feels good. And then we'll hook it like that, and then stab it through this side. And that should hold, just like that. So we got probably another 5 minutes to wait for the fire to get ready. We'll dump that in, and we'll hang these, and we're done for a while. All right, here we are. It's practically been about 7 hours later. I put it in about 5:30 this morning. It's 12:40 now. It's already up to temperature. We're sitting at 155. I'm trying to get it up to 160, but it's kind of slowing down. The grease dripping into the coals, kind of slowing it out a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it. I'm gonna wrap it in foil paper and get it back in. So the easiest thing I found is just take the whole rebar out. You're gonna have to have some good gloves for that though. Instead of doing, but if you look at that color, that is beautiful. We're gonna take them both out so we can get the grate back in there. Put the grate in. We won't need the rebar anymore, except for just controlling the temperature. Yes, it does. They do have their purpose. Now, I didn't spritz these with anything during the cook. I'm not gonna put anything down before I wrap them. I'm just letting it go with just the plain seasoning on it. We're gonna see how it turns out. I don't think we're gonna have any issues, but it's pretty windy out here, so I had the old trusty phone help me hold the foil paper down. At this point, what I need to do is take these spikes out because we're not gonna need the hangers anymore. We'll get those out, pretty simple. And then just wrap tight as you can. Right in the center. Put the temperature probe in there again. Put the heat regulators, aka rebar. Cover her back up and let her go. All right, from here we're not gonna do anything else to them. We're just gonna wait for them to come up to temp. I'm looking at 202, 205, somewhere in that area. Depending on how much longer the coals burn though, may determine that factor later. Then I'll pull it out. I'll let it rest for about an hour before we dig into it. But one thing real quick I wanted to talk about.
And now a word from JBC's safety department.
Is safety, PPE. If you'll notice, every once in a while you'll see me pull these black gloves out. These gloves are fireman gloves. My son gave to me. He's a captain of a fire department here locally. And they kind of, I don't know if they came like this or if they were rigged this way, but I'm not saying you can't get burned with these, but these have come in clutch. I found out a couple of months ago how dangerous it can be to be a cooker the way I am. I was using one of the Ingberg thermopins you've seen before, and I was stabbing the pork butt, you know, just in various places at various times, and not realizing it. One day I came out and I had just these on, and I was transferring it from the smoker to a cooler. And when I did, grease shot out of those holes that I had been poking in the foil paper, and it burned my finger, my middle finger, to the point that when I pulled the glove off, it pulled my skin off from like this knuckle here all the way back. Ended up in the emergency room for a while. That wasn't a nice experience. So PPE, guys, wear gloves. Find you a good pair of heat gloves, especially for this, because you have to dump the charcoal down into the barrel. Yeah, that's my safety tip for the day. We'll be back. All right, here we are. Right about the 12-hour mark. It's 5:30 in the afternoon, and I said it at 5:30 this morning. One quick takeaway that I took about 10 hours into it was that I set the pork butt to hang on the right side, and I left it there the whole time. Probably about the 10-hour mark, I realized that I started losing temperature, and I looked in, and everything on the right side, coals and the wood chip that I have in there, never caught fire. So the grease that was dripping down and it got them so wet, I believe, that the fire couldn't make its way over. So the temperature started dropping. I moved it over to the right side, added some more hot coals. I had to restart the chimney, added some more hot coals, and got it back up to temp. I think had it not done that, it probably would have taken about 11 hours. But again, we're up to 200. I'm gonna get it out, take it inside, put it to rest, and in about an hour, I'll shred it and we'll have dinner. But all in all, good learning lesson. Next time when I do it, I'll just transfer them over, maybe every hour, maybe from one side to the other side. And then that way, hopefully I get an even burn across and I won't come across this problem again. Overall, still one of my favorite cookers right now. And I plan to continue to practice on it till I perfect it, but we're ready to go inside. All right, here we are. It's about an hour later. We're gonna go ahead and unwrap it and see how we did. Hopefully it's tender, and hopefully you can see it's falling apart. You can see the bone is falling apart. Over here on this side. Look at that. Beautiful. This is what we were after right here. Look, good color, really pink, just fall apart, shredded goodness. What we're gonna do tonight is pulled pork sandwiches. I'm gonna shred some of this apart. We have some Kinder's, what is it, honey hot honey or honey hot, something like that. I'm just gonna douse it in some of that, spread it on some buns, and it's dinner time. If you like what you saw here, please consider subscribing, hit that like button. What would you like to see me cook next, or what would you have done different? Oh, before we leave, one thing that I did realize is when I took it out of the pit, I left the lid open, and I went back and checked it a while ago, full fire. Go figure. Again, learning lesson. Next time, I'll just make sure if I notice the fire dying out, I'll just take the lid off and let it light back up, and that would have helped me cook a little faster than what I did. But again, we'll see you next time.